August 24th, 79 AD. The sun rises over Pompeii like it has for 1,000 mornings before. The city doesn't know it has 16 hours left to live. The streets are already alive with motion. Bakers pull fresh loaves from brick ovens. The smell of bread mixes with olive oil and wine. Merchants arrange their goods in the forum. Children run through the cobblestone streets, their laughter echoing off marble columns. Women carry water jugs balanced on their shoulders. Men argue about politics in the shade of porticos. This is a normal day in one of the Roman Empire's most prosperous cities. 18,000 people call this place home. They have no idea what's coming. The Vesuvius looms in the distance, peaceful and green. Vineyards climb its slopes. Nobody here has ever seen it erupt. Nobody alive even knows it's a volcano. The morning is hot, unusually hot for August. The air feels thick, heavy. Dogs are restless. Birds have gone quiet, but life continues as it always has. In the grand villas, slaves prepare elaborate lunches for their masters. In the public baths, citizens relax in pools of heated water. In the amphitheater, workers prepare for tonight's gladiator games. The forum is packed with people conducting business. Lawyers argue cases. Money changers count coins. A politician makes promises he'll never have to keep. Look at the architecture surrounding you. Temples with towering columns. Houses with colorful frescoes showing gods and heroes. Fountains flowing with fresh water from the aqueduct. The streets are paved with large volcanic stones. Stepping stones allow people to cross without walking through waste in the gutters. It's a sophisticated, beautiful city. But at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, everything changes. The ground trembles, just slightly at first. People pause, look around, then it happens. The top of Mount Vesuvius explodes with a sound like the world splitting open. A column of ash and pumice shoots 15 miles into the sky. The eruption is so violent it can be heard 100 miles away. The column rises so high it blocks out the sun within minutes. Darkness begins to fall over the city in the middle of the day. Darkness falls over Pompeii at 1 in the afternoon. Not the darkness of night. Something worse. A suffocating, unnatural blackness that swallows the city whole. People in the forum stop mid-sentence. They look up at the sky disappearing. Confusion turns to fear. Then the stones begin to fall. Pumice. Light volcanic rock. At first, just a few pieces, then hundreds, then thousands. A rain of stone falling from the black sky. People run. They don't know where to go. Some head for their homes. Others rush toward the city gates. Mothers grab children. The elderly struggle to move. The pumice piles up quickly. Within an hour, it's ankle-deep in the streets. Within 2 hours, knee-deep. It's getting harder to walk, harder to breathe. Watch this family fleeing through the forum. The father holds a child against his chest, shielding the small body from the falling stones. The mother pulls another child by the hand. They're heading for the Stabian Gate. Thousands are doing the same. The gate becomes a bottleneck. People push, scream. Panic spreads like fire. Some make it through, some don't. Bodies are already falling in the streets, struck by larger chunks of pumice raining down with increasing force. In the harbor, people crowd the docks. They're trying to board ships. Sailors are cutting ropes and fleeing. The sea itself is in chaos, churning with unnatural waves. A man stands at his villa door, desperately trying to open it. The pumice has piled so high against it that it won't budge. He pulls, pushes. Behind him, roof tiles crash. The weight of the accumulating pumice is collapsing roofs across the city. You hear the crack of wooden beams, the crash of tiles, screams from inside buildings. People wrap cloth around their faces to filter the ash. It's in the air now, thick clouds of it mixing with the pumice. Every breath burns. The temperature is rising. The air feels hot, unnaturally hot. The stones falling from the sky are warm to the touch. Some are hot enough to burn skin. If you're captivated by this AI reconstruction of Pompeii's final hours, subscribe now. We're bringing history's most dramatic moments back to life with unprecedented detail. By nightfall, Pompeii is buried under 6 feet of pumice. Most roofs have collapsed. The streets are unrecognizable. Thousands have fled. Thousands remain trapped. The night brings no relief. The darkness is absolute. The only light comes from fires burning across the city where buildings have collapsed onto oil lamps and hearth fires. The pumice continues to fall, relentlessly, without pause. The sound is deafening, a constant roar like an ocean wave that never breaks. In the ruins of collapsed buildings, people are trapped. You can hear them calling out, screaming for help. But there's no one coming. Everyone who can move is trying to escape. A group huddles in the basement of a villa. They thought going below ground would protect them. They were wrong. The pumice is seeping through every crack and opening. They cover their faces with their togas, try to breathe through the fabric, but the air is thick with sulfur and ash. Each breath is agony. Outside, the streets are now rivers of gray debris. Anyone trying to move struggles through waist-deep pumice. The effort is exhausting. Many simply give up, lie down, wait. At the city's edge, those who escaped early are watching from the hills. They can see the glow of fires, hear the distant roar, but they can't see the city itself anymore. It's gone, swallowed by darkness and ash. Some are crying. Others stand in shock. They're watching their world end, and there's nothing they can do. Then, in the early morning hours of August 25th, something changes. The ground shakes violently. This isn't like the earlier tremors, this is different, worse. The volcano's internal structure is collapsing. The eruption column can't sustain itself anymore. And when it falls, it's going to fall directly on Pompeii. The pyroclastic surge comes without warning, a superheated cloud of gas and ash racing down the mountain at over 100 miles per hour. It's 600 degrees. Nothing can survive it. It hits the northern edge of Pompeii and keeps coming. People see it in the distance, a glowing orange wall of death rushing toward them. Some try to run. There's nowhere to go. The surge hits in seconds. It doesn't burn. It doesn't suffocate slowly. It kills instantly. The heat alone stops hearts, boils blood, vaporizes flesh. Bodies freeze in place. A man covering his face, a woman curled protectively around her child, a slave still holding the key to a locked door. The pyroclastic surge passes in minutes, but it leaves nothing alive. Every person still in Pompeii is dead, frozen in their final moments by the extreme heat. Then the ash comes. Hot volcanic ash mixed with rock fragments. It buries everything. The bodies, the buildings, the streets. Everything disappears under layers of gray. By morning of August 25th, Pompeii doesn't exist anymore. Where a thriving city stood yesterday, there's only a barren wasteland of ash and pumice. The survivors who fled watch from the hills. Some are sobbing, others stand silent. They've lost everything. Their homes, their families, their entire world. The ash continues to fall for another day, then another. When it finally stops, Pompeii is buried under 20 feet of volcanic material. The city is gone, erased from the landscape. Within a generation, people will forget exactly where it was. Nature will reclaim the area. Trees will grow over the mass grave. For 1,700 years, Pompeii will sleep beneath the earth. The bodies preserved in ash, the buildings frozen in time, a city waiting to tell its story. Fast forward to today. Modern Pompeii emerges from excavations. Archaeologists uncover the streets, the buildings, the bodies still in their death poses. And now artificial intelligence allows us to see beyond the ruins, to reconstruct what actually stood here, to bring color back to the faded frescoes. What you've been watching isn't imagination. This is based on decades of archaeological evidence, laser scans, chemical analysis, historical records from survivors. The AI has reconstructed the architecture with incredible accuracy. The columns, the frescoes, the layout of streets. This is what Pompeii actually looked like. The people you saw weren't random faces. They're based on skeletal remains, on the voids left in the ash when bodies decomposed, on preserved clothing fragments. This technology lets us witness history in a way previous generations never could. We can walk these streets, see these final moments, understand what happened. Pompeii's tragedy gave us an unexpected gift. Because it was buried so quickly, it was preserved perfectly. A snapshot of Roman life frozen in time. Stand in modern Pompeii today. Walk these excavated streets. The ruins are beautiful in their own way, but they're just shadows of what we've shown you. The columns are broken now. The frescoes faded, the roofs long gone. But for 16 hours on August 24th, this was a living city. 18,000 people lived here, loved here, worked here. They had dreams and plans and futures, and in one day, it all ended. The tragedy of Pompeii isn't just the destruction. It's the ordinariness of that final morning. Nobody knew, nobody suspected. Life was normal until it wasn't. The bakers finished their bread, the politicians made their speeches, the children played in the streets. And then the mountain exploded and everything stopped. But their story didn't end, because Pompeii became the most important archaeological site in the world. It taught us more about Roman life than any other place. We know what they ate because we found food preserved in the ash. We know what they wore because clothing left imprints. We know their thoughts from graffiti. One message scratched on a wall reads, "Nothing lasts forever," written by someone who had no idea how prophetic those words would be. The AI reconstructions you've seen today represent the cutting edge of historical research. This is how we remember now, how we honor the dead. Technology has given us the power to resurrect these lost moments, to see beyond the ruins, to witness history across 2,000 years. Pompeii reminds us that civilizations are fragile, that nature is powerful, that life can change in an instant, that we should never take tomorrow for granted. The people of Pompeii were just like us. They worried about money. They fell in love. They argued with neighbors. They were human. Tell me in the comments, which historical moment fascinates you most? Which lost city should we bring back to life next with AI reconstruction? So which historical moment should we reconstruct next? Which lost city? Which forgotten tragedy? Which moment in time deserves to be remembered? Drop your answer in the comments below. Let's keep using technology to honor the past. Thanks for watching. Remember, these weren't just ruins, they were lives.